The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Mark. Jesus said to his disciples, "In those days, after the time of distress, the sun will be darkened, the moon will lose its brightness, the stars will come falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Then too he will send the angels to gather his chosen from the four winds, from the ends of the world to the ends of heaven. Take the fig tree as a parable. As soon as its twigs grow supple and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. So with you, when you see these things happening, know that he is near, at the very gates. I tell you solemnly, before this generation has passed away, all these things will have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But as for that day or hour, nobody knows it, neither the angels of heaven nor the Son, no one but the Father. Sisters and brothers, the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The sun will be darkened. The moon will not give light. Stars will be falling from the sky, and powers in the heavens will be shaken. This is frightening. This is a big catastrophe. This is what they call as the end of the world. You might be asking, why do we have these readings now? Just a little side explanation. In the Catholic Church, we have what we call as the liturgical year. It's different from the year January to December, the new year. No? We usually start the liturgical year in Advent, which is about 2 weeks from now. So actually, we are coming to the end of the Catholic liturgical year, because next week is already Christ the King. And after that, Advent, the beginning, and then Christmas. So we are towards the end of our liturgical year. That's why our readings also is about the end. But the end of times, the end of the world, the destruction, we should be frightened. We should even be depressed. Because this is what is called as apocalyptic. When the world will be totally wiped away. Now, remember, if you are old enough, year 2000, the change of the millennium, people were saying, oh, that's not the end of the world, that's the end of the world. There is a millennium bug. All computers will be, all programs will be corrupted and everything, no? So, now, we must remember that Mark and apocalyptic writings are never to be taken literally. They are symbolic. So when the moon does not shine anymore, and when the stars fall, it is not, the moon will not shine and the stars will fall. No, no, no. It is symbolic language. Now, let us understand why Mark wrote this, Gospel of Mark. Mark was writing to the Christians in Rome during this period. And the Christians are being persecuted. Some are even killed. So they thought it is the end of them. It is the end time. In other words, Mark is simply recognizing the situation of the early Christians in Rome. They were hiding in catacombs because if somebody reports them to the authorities, they will be imprisoned or killed, fed to the lions. And these are what is happening in the early Christian community. And that is why the earliest Christian community thought this must be our end. We are frightened. We are despairing. We are distressed. So Mark wrote this for them. Because the next line is important. After describing the falling of the stars and the moon not shining anymore, Mark said, "The Son of Man will be coming in the clouds with great power and glory, and send out angels and gather his elect from the four winds." Now, Mark is saying, do not worry. Jesus will come. Jesus will be with you. Jesus, our God, will accompany you. Remember that man on the cross. Death was not the end. Resurrection and life was the end. In other words, in the midst of a difficult situation, distressing, people are executed, Christians are killed, Mark is saying, do not lose hope. Stay courageous. Stand up, because this is not the end. The Son of Man will come in glory and power. Mark wants to reassure the persecuted Christian community that death is not the end. Life is. Because God, Jesus, will be coming and will be with them. That is why many times when we think of the end of the world, what will happen, we're all frightened. But Mark was telling us, don't be frightened, be hopeful, because finally the Lord will come again. And that would be a hope-filled situation. What will be our take then in our gospel for today? I think it's very simple, but very difficult. In the midst of a situation wherein it's like a dead end, there is no need for despair, but there is hope. There is the possibility of a better situation. I don't know, but the other day, somebody talked to me, and she just found out that she had cancer. And of course, she thought this must be the end. Maybe some of you are battered wife or battered husband. It was also yesterday that someone approached me and told me that she'd been battered by her husband. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know where to go. She has 2 children. They have 2 children, and what will happen? It's like a dead end. Many times I'll approach here after the Mass by migrants, Filipinos, Indians, Bangladeshi, or Myanmar. And they say, please pray for me, Father. My contract is ending soon. And it doesn't look that my contract will be renewed. Then I have to go home. Then what will happen to my family? How can I provide for them? Situations of helplessness. I got a Facebook note from somebody I know, and she has mental difficulties, or he's not well mentally. And he said many times he just hears this voice, especially when he's alone, if she will just kill himself. Again, situations of there seems to be so dark, people so alone. Maybe our take then is, in those difficult situations, Jesus, the Gospel of Mark, and Jesus is telling us, no, there is hope. There is a possibility. There is another way. Don't be depressed. Don't despair. Because, again, death was not the last word. Life is. And that is what is promised to all of us by the Lord. As I end my sharing, maybe we can just tap our neighbor. Do not slap, huh? Not slap, huh? But tap. Just a simple gesture that maybe we don't know if the one seated to us is in a difficult situation. And just tap him or her to just say, there is possibility. There is hope. Because Jesus is with us.
Oh Mary, how I call